Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with K Montes Art Studio, and today we have a mini art haul from different stores. So I purchased a couple things on Amazon, Hobby Lobby, the bookstore, and a couple things from Target and the bargain bookstore. Yes. So some exciting things, some new forms of art to come. I'm very excited for that, and I hope you enjoy. I got a couple things off of Amazon and at Hobby Lobby, and I also purchased a couple books from the bookstore. They were closing and moving to a different location. So their books were 50% off, so I had to get a couple books. So some of these things I purchased maybe 2 weeks ago, some of them yesterday, some of them my Amazon package just came in yesterday actually. And yeah, so let's jump into it. Okay, so let's start with the books first. And as usual, I'm sitting on the floor. It's my way of working, but this time you guys get to see me full on face. And I'm going to be showing the other camera the items as I speak, and you guys look at me. I'm still testing out different views, and I will get into the socks of the day soon. But I got a couple new ones, so that's exciting also. All right, so let's jump into it. So the first book that I purchased, I actually purchased at Target, 30% off, and that's The Boy, the Mule, the Fox, and the Horse. And this book is a tearjerker. It's very cute. It's very well illustrated. That's the other reason why I purchased it, because of the illustration. And the way this author wrote the book, he also made the fonts a part of the art. And it's just so beautiful. So I definitely recommend it. It was 30% off at Target. Originally $29.99 American dollars or US dollars. So that's one. Another one that I purchased, The Art of Plein Air Painting. This one was 50% off at Barnes & Nobles, and I'm really excited to get into it. I like to reference different artists, and I think James Gurney is in this one. I can't remember if it's this one or the other one, but I freaked out when I saw him in this book. And I was like, oh my God, I have to get it. I'm like, I'll probably find a page for you. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the infamous James Gurney is in this one. So I had to get it. I love James Gurney's work, and he's amazing. So that's The Art of Plein Air Painting. The next book I got was Painting Florals with Gouache. I'm trying to get better at gouache, and for some reason it's really challenging for me, but I love it. I love a new challenge. I love to get better with things. So I actually got two books about gouache, and this one's Oh My Gouache, and this one's The Beginner's Guide to Painting with Opaque Watercolors. So I love watercolors. I could get better at it, but you know, I'm always trying something new. So I feel good at watercolor, but I could get better at it. That's just my own criticism. But gouache is just so rich and fun. I don't know what it is about it. So that's Oh My Gouache. This book I actually got at the bargain store, because I did go to the Book Barn, which is in Westchester, Pennsylvania, 45 minutes from where I live. and they have the most amazing books. So I got this drawing on the Artist Within. So I have her other book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. Betty Edwards is really amazing. The way she like integrates science and art in that way, and she studies the brain and art and how things can be worked. It's such an amazing book. The Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. Okay, so this one I got, let me just check. Did I get this one at Barnes and Nobles? Yes. So I can tell the difference between a bargain book because they usually write the price on the inside of the book. So I got this one at Barnes and Nobles and also 50% off. I like to look at different eclectic interiors. I also have another book back here which I didn't mention, but I bought that one last month, and it's the Jungalow book. I'm blanking on her name, but I'll insert it here. Whoops, those are my dogs. Yeah, my dogs tend to interrupt a lot. So this one is Rocket Street George, Extraordinary Interiors in Color. So I really have been drawn to like very colorful interiors, not only for, you know, learning more about them on my design side of the world, but also, oh my God, look at how beautiful this is. Also just being able to paint these, and I love to do buildings and exteriors, but I find it challenging to paint interiors because it's so much more detailed. So I wanted to challenge myself in doing that. So those books I tend to cherish. Kandinsky, I got this one at the bargain store, and this one was a great buy. Kandinsky is sort of a abstract artist, and I love his color use, his brush strokes. I haven't learned too much about him, so I thought it'd be interesting to, you know, get some more information about him. So this is my first book on him, and that's Kandinsky. And I think this book was super cheap. Yeah, 12 bucks. And my last book, I bought this. Did I get this at the bargain store? No, I got this one at Barnes and Nobles also, and this is called Flora. The Smithsonian's Flora Inside the Secret World of Plants. And this is also illustrated, I believe. I know it's a combination of both photographs and illustration, and I really appreciate the high quality photography that they do, which will also help for illustrations and drawings later on. I love to reference books and make sure that I'm doing the flower justice when I'm painting them. So those are my books, and I feel like I got a couple other books, but they weren't art related, and I just left them out. They're more so like personal self-help books and, you know, random things like that. And I went crazy that day and I purchased 24 books, but those were the art ones only. Okay, so let's jump into a couple other things. So I purchased some socks for my Socks of the Day segment. They were on sale. Actually, these were regular price, so that, these were regular price. So each sock came to about $5 a sock. And you know, one thing that like really makes me upset is the fact that men's socks are so much nicer than women's socks. But I was really yeah, I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna get these. I was really appreciating the fact that these socks were in the men's section also, but mentioned that they're for women too. I just feel like socks are universal. Why do we need to segregate them? Like, I dream of designing socks one day, and um, that's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna design pairs of socks, and I'm gonna make it so that they're in the same, you know, in the section where like both women and men can shop, because everyone has feet. Well, I shouldn't say everyone. Most people have feet, and socks are essential. So my goal one day is to design socks that are universal. All right. And this does not belong here, but I got some scrubbing pads. All right, so on to Hobby Lobby. Let me just check my film 1 second. Okay, so actually this is a perfect time to jump into the socks of the day. So today's socks are sponsored by me. I purchased these at DSW, and I like how they're sort of thin and in like a summery way, so they're good for, you know, showing them off. The ankles, they're green. They're sort of like a hunter green with yellow roses, yellow petals. I don't exactly know what kind of flower they are. And they did a good job of combining the green, so I really appreciate that. They also have little splashes of blue. So those are my socks. So moving back into the art haul. I went to Hobby Lobby and I purchased a cutting mat. I'm getting back into, which I'll talk about with the other Amazon art haul, getting back into printmaking. I did printmaking when I was in undergrad, so I'm gonna say maybe 2010 was the last time I did printmaking, and that was because it was a required class, but I loved it. We just didn't have a focus in printmaking. We did, however, have the opportunity to, like, for our senior show, we did have the option to pick the medium that we wanted to focus on, and I chose painting, but sometimes I think back on it and I wish I would have did all the things that I liked, like watercolor, printmaking, maybe even some ceramics, but ceramics was its own monster. So if you did choose ceramics, you kind of had to stick to ceramics. But anyways, so I got the mat cutter for $5.99, and I got that just for multi-purpose use. I have one that's like very brittle. So the next purchase were, speaking of ceramics, I've been also getting back into clay art. I went to Yay Clay in Philadelphia last month, and it was like a love was re-sparked within me in ceramics. And I just dream of the day that I can be able to afford a ceramics course and just do ceramics for a living. But it's so expensive. Ceramics is definitely something that you have to devote your time to because it's so expensive and time consuming. It really is. I made my mug, and I'll insert a picture here. And we made it, and it was, I think it takes 2 fires. So the way they do Yay Clay, of course, they're very controlled in that they don't want you to mess up because it's like painting with a twist, but for clay. And we weren't there for the bisfire, we weren't there for the glazing, so we just selected the glaze that we wanted, and they did everything else for you after you throw the object that you decide to make. So anyways, long story short, I was like, I want to get back into clay, and I purchased some polymer clay. Nothing like real clay, but it's what I can afford right now. And these were 77 cents at Hobby Lobby, and I purchased a bunch of different colors. So I was thinking of sort of figuring out a way of making like trinket trays, something similar. So I purchased a lot of those. And I also purchased a silicone brush set to help mold things. I previously purchased some from Michael's that I really liked, that I should have saved for the art haul, but I started using those, and I made a mini sort of trinket bowl, and Brianna has it in her office, so I could probably insert a picture here. Yeah, so we'll probably see more of those type of mediums coming up in my videos, along with printmaking. So I purchased this mat, and I clearly could not wait to create the piece. So I purchased this mat at Blick. Wow, I did a lot of random shopping. And so it's white on the back and then gray on the front. And it's amazing so far. This one block, however, was 17 bucks. So the way printmaking works, you have to really think about your art. And I appreciate that because it helps me to slow down. So I've been considering this to be sort of like a wall covering or wallpaper pattern, and I'll probably show you that in another video on how these turn out. But it's been a lot of fun to just go back to some of the things I haven't done in years, like clay, printmaking. It's just so relaxing. So with that being said, most of the things that I purchased at Amazon were printmaking things. Oh, and I also got a book. Alright, so as mentioned, along with the printmaking things, I purchased some gouache. So that I can practice some of my gouache techniques, and I'm so excited for this Holbein gouache. Oh, they're tiny. That's so cute. That's perfect because, I'm like always jumping around with different mediums, and it allows me to not waste things. I also bought more blocks. These are rubber blocks. Pink rubber blocks, so they are pink all the way through, which I think can be challenging, but they were the cheapest. I've been looking at different videos, and some people mention that they like to paint the block first a certain color, and that way when they're carving, you can see where you carved. That's the purpose of, the gray and the white block, so that you can see where you carved. Alright, so the other thing I purchased was images. Imagine a Forest. Imagine a Forest is a sort of folk art inspired book, design and inspirations for enchanting folk art. And I to go along with all of the gouache, the printmaking, the all the things that I've been kind of working on have been very illustrative lately and sort of folk artish like. I don't know how it would be said, but so more on the folk art of florals, homes, landscapes. I'm not a fan of creating characters, but I love things like this, like objects, houses. I do like to create people, but not in a folk art way or not in a characteristic way. I appreciate it though. I mean, look at how beautiful this is. So yeah, it's just not my thing, or more so like I don't find it interesting. And if it's not interesting, then you know, don't waste your time on it unless if you truly want to challenge yourself. So here's the other thing that I really like about folk art is that they also use printmaking in a way that you can create things for sale. So this person created a bird stamp and was able to create like a fabric. So that's my goal, to practice doing things, doing prints on things. So we'll see how that goes. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Okay, moving on. I could stare at this book forever. Okay, so I also bought some printmaking paper, pretty generic, and I have some printmaking ink. I already had a ink somewhere, but I can't find it, and this one has 4 different types. And this is my pencil that I accidentally left in the box. So that's that. And then we can jump into some, why is this here? Yeah, I guess that's the art haul, because most of this stuff is for printmaking, and I'll talk about this stuff in the next video, but this is a quick preview of one of the blocks, and this was actually done with acrylic paint, so I'll be interested to see. This is the 4. I didn't continue print. So usually when you create prints, you want to mark the number that it is. This is the 4th one that I make. I didn't finalize the print, so I didn't say 4 out of what. So usually you do that at the very end when you decide how many you make. So that's the 4th one. I'll give you a quick glimpse on some of the trials. This was my test. This was another test with gray. I was trying to make black and gray happen. It just wasn't good. And this one was my first one. So this is 1. And then I tried white toned paper. This is number 2. This was really good. And this is number 3. And then I did a 4th one on white paper. So most of this paper is Bristol or mixed media paper. And then I also have a couple tests in here that failed. And the reason for that was because I was using acrylic, and I was waiting for my ink to come in. So that's it. Alright guys, so that was the mini art haul. Let me know what was your favorite item. There's gnats in my room. I also got a new plant. I forgot to mention that. It's fine. got this at Home Goods actually. Just realized that the price is back here. Home Goods has some good books. That was the mini art haul. Let me know what was your favorite item that I purchased. I'm definitely looking forward to going through all of these books and finding more art inspiration and getting into my printmaking. I have been loving carving the mats. I'm even more excited to get into the actual printing. And stay tuned for that video. That one should be fun. So if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe as always, and stay tuned for next week.